We're live in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Gibby.
Shamrock Shake season, everybody. I'm loving
Loving this. I mean, nice.
I think that's fine. Brown and blonde.
Paid for mediums, was given larges.
Shout out the system for that. The flawed banking system. And Betty White.
And Betty White. We got one viewer right now.
Hey, what's up, one viewer? We're live on the pod, drinking Shamrock Shakes.
You can
Badink?
ASMR it. Yes.
Bink. Not a lot of sucking noise coming from the McDonald's straws. That was me taking.
I'll add that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's Shamrock season.
You know what they say? They're after my Lucky Charms. All right. Good morning, Vietnam.
Wandavision.
It is the vision that Wanda had of
Basically the entire show. There's
yeah.
Spoiler alerts for Wandavision.
Yep, we're diving deep. The show's
Yeah.
over. If you haven't watched it, it's your own fault. Go watch it or don't, because it's pretty middle of the road content. But it's new content, so for that
Yes.
it is 10 out of 10.
Yes, we're talking spoilers. It's over officially.
Yeah, I think so.
Officially
Yeah.
over. There will not be a 10th secret episode.
So disappointing.
So I think the big thing we should talk about first.
Mephisto was not there.
Nobody was there.
Agatha was there, which we knew.
I mean, yeah,
Which-
that wasn't really even a theory though. That was like
That was just more confirmed. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it brought me back to my days watching Arrow season 2 live week to week, watching Emergency Awesome videos, being like, what is Mirakuru? Is that a thing in the comic? You know what I mean? Like I wonder if Slade will become Deathstroke.
So did you just? I just want to clarify. We're on the same headspace right now. Did you just compare WandaVision to a CW show,
Yes.
quality wise too?
I think Arrow season 2 is better, but that's just me. I don't.
Arrow season 2 is.
I don't
top
have
tier.
great taste just in general, but that's my preference. I would say.
I mean, that's fair.
I would say WandaVision is better because it is a part of a cinematic universe.
Not a television universe.
Film. Yeah. And also, whereas Arrow was like the first and kind of like the Iron Man of its universe,
I mean,
this is like very much
Arrow's
we're in it.
also. You gotta give Arrow credit for just kind of being the first superhero show that was real mainstream. Period.
Yes. No, definitely all credit to Arrow, but I guess WandaVision, it's nicer.
very different.
It's nicer that it's not an introduction to all new characters.
But I think a big part of this experience that we both went through, and we both are on a very similar wavelength. A lot of people were saying that all the fan theorizing made the show better for them. I think it absolutely wrecked the show and the experience for me.
I think it made it worse. It got everyone's expectations not only just higher, but also in random corners of
It was
theories.
so unrealistic for so many of them. Reed Richards was never gonna show up.
Yeah, and I would have liked it if he did. Like I would have been,
yeah,
but it wasn't.
Like that was
gonna
never gonna
yeah.
happen. I called it when they first said aerospace engineer. I was like, oh, that's a throwaway line. That's
Yeah.
not gonna happen. And then the internet convinced me that it wasn't.
It was Reed Richards. It was Mephisto. It was Captain
It
Marvel.
was the dude from Ant-Man
Yeah.
and the Wasp. Lawrence Fishburne's character from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Perry White.
But yeah, it was just normal. Like
It was just a good show. Like it was just a good one season run, like beginning, middle, end.
like it for me. It felt like a TV show.
Yes.
And not this deep, thought-provoking thing that everybody was trying to make it.
But what is grief if not loss prevention?
Not the quote.
No.
But like, also we can dive into Vision being fake deep all the time later. But
I mean, it makes sense. He's just genius.
he's an encyclopedia.
Yeah,
so
he's
like, I don't know what to say. Philosophy.
He's Brainiac. He's Jimmy Neutron. He's every smart thing ever. So he's
Remember when Jimmy Neutron walked up to Carl and asked him about the ship with Theseus?
yeah. And then Carl went, "Oh, Jimmy's mom, your mom's got a fat ass. I'd like to taste it." Carl Weezer, I like llamas.
But again, all this fan stuff aside, very well made show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Like I mean, it's Disney Plus, so it was
It's Disney.
just
Like,
in general. Yeah.
It's at this point nothing.
It was a TV show with a movie budget.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was, as much as I was kind of like disillusioned about it, when the finale came, I was engaged the entire time except for when they were saying goodbye.
It was a little slow, but
It
yeah. No, it was. I was actively watching. I wasn't like on my
Yeah.
phone. Like
I was with the earlier episodes where it's just like, oh, this is just sitcom, such and such.
Don't think I'll be rewatching anytime soon.
I do
if
think
ever.
it is the one MCU property that I might never rewatch because it's. I can rewatch a bad movie. Spend 2 hours of my life. This is like 6.
Yeah, and it's also like
I mean, probably closer to 5.
I don't know if I have a favorite episode. Maybe the Malcolm in the Middle one, but it also nothing really happened in that. Like
It's hard.
yeah,
I think mine might be the Monica episode. I really like the Monica.
yeah, I do. And shout out Jimmy Woo
Because we got good characterization from characters that.
but Darcy.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm very curious as to why she wasn't in that post-credit scene.
I'm very okay with the
Yeah,
fact that
but,
she
like,
wasn't.
What was the line that she said? Like,
Oh, she doesn't do goodbyes.
yeah,
Like,
or something like that. It was
Goodbyes are for nerds or something. Yeah,
like, and it's like, okay.
she had to go be a broke girl. Out of 2, 1 out of 2 broke girls.
There's a lot. We do have, so people are getting mad because their fan theories are wrong, and for a lot of that, it's like, yeah, you banked way too much on it. It's your fault. There are 2 specifically that I think we can blame Marvel for.
Oh,
I think we can blame Marvel for the Evan Peters joke because it's like that was 100. Like doing that, you 100% set expectations. That casting him as Quicksilver, it's like there's something up here. Everybody's gonna think, and then you're just like, oh no, he's just been controlled the whole time.
I love the boner joke. That's my favorite part of the season. Not actually, the finale might be my favorite just because we get the boner joke. Yeah, it's pretty. I think it's great because subverts the expectations. That you're right. The show did give us those expectations. That was not fan theory fueled. I mean, there were fan theories about it, but
reasonably
for good reason.
Reasonably.
Yeah. So, but then them just being like, yeah, no, it doesn't really matter. Like that's very nice. That is, for example, similar to the cat scratching Nick Fury's eye.
So I have seen people comparing the boner reveal to many different Marvel moments. The cat scratch being one of them. The other ones being Mysterio, which I think that one's more of a tool as opposed to a joke.
Yeah, that's not a joke. That's like an actual subversion for the story.
I've seen people comparing it to the Spider-Man identity being revealed to Aunt May with the what the fuck at the end, which is closer. But I think the closest one is the Mandarin reveal, obviously. Because it's a person we thought it was.
Yeah.
And he wasn't for a joke.
Yeah.
The Trevor Slatery or Slatery, however you say it.
But
joke.
that's along with the Mysterio one is also plays a pretty big role.
It's actually a tool, but it's still played off as a joke, and it's very similar.
The moment is a joke,
and it's very similar in concept, where we thought he was one character that we know. It's revealed that he's not, and he's just some random guy.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I also hope that he is just not Quicksilver again, and we just don't have a Quicksilver.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. It sucks because that's like, if you're gonna try to do actual Scarlet Witch storylines, he's obviously very important to a lot of her stories.
I don't think they're gonna be doing any Scarlet Witch storylines.
Well, there have been not credible. Charles Murphy, who was a scooper, who quadrupled down that Doctor Strange was in this episode. So like obviously he's lost a little bit of street cred over the last few days. But he said that Wanda going forward will be one of the faces of the MCU.
I believe that. I just don't think they're going to be accurately pulling any.
Oh,
like they're going to be writing their own.
Yeah.
Because I believe that. Because one, at this point, she's got to be the most powerful. Like,
dumb.
I mean,
the way they did it was dumb.
Yeah, the way they
Let
did
her
it is
become the most powerful. Don't make her. Just let her be the most powerful.
Yes, which is the problems that I had with not this week's episode, but last week's episode, where it was just Harry Potter, Anakin Skywalker, prophecy syndrome.
Which kind of seems like it's what it still is. They didn't explain it away, really.
I'm hoping that it's more of she has the potential to be that powerful, that or that it's raw power that will still need to be tapped, exercised into. In the same way that I can't think of an example, but like if Harry Potter didn't learn spells, he wouldn't be nearly as powerful as he is.
You have to get that.
He would still survive being killed by Voldemort, but everything else he does would be, So, and that's kind of strengthened by the end credit scene where she's like studying, but
she's not really studying because that's the Darkhold. That's not a book you study from.
Yeah, I guess it makes me think that she's next time we see her, she's gonna be tripled or double leveled up, and the explanation is like, oh yeah, I've just been working on it on my own, which is fine because we don't need an hour-long movie about her studying.
The other point, I said there are 2 points that we can blame Marvel for. I think the other one is the expectation of the Doctor Strange cameo because of how Kevin Feige was like, this movie leads directly into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So people were expecting more of a connection. Understandably. I was expecting more of a connection because that would make sense if we're leading directly into it. Not just the end credit scene of her in a cabin reading a book. That technically doesn't, that doesn't connect it to Doctor Strange at this point. It will because we know it's coming. Yeah. People are speculating, but at this point it doesn't. If you don't know that, if you didn't hear Kevin Feige say that, you'd be like, oh, she's learning magic.
Yeah, it feels, before that end credit scene, it felt like the story was over.
Wanda did not take any accountability for her actions.
No. I mean, who really cares about kidnapping and terrorism these days? It's barely a crime. Barely. But also, she has saved the world a couple times. So, I understand, a kind of free pass, but also no.
But see, for her, specifically, she was part of Hydra. She was very implicit in, a lot of the problems that were caused in Age of Ultron, she was a part of.
If not all of them.
She performed an act of terrorism in Civil War. It wasn't on purpose, but that bomb exploding that building at the start of Civil War?
Yeah.
That's on her hands.
It is,
and
but
there's no...
They kind of got over that because the bigger problem was Bucky and / Zemo after that.
The Sokovia Accords kind of were
she was the straw that broke the camel's back because the Sokovia Accords are more about the bigger level events because obviously any bombing is bad no matter how many casualties there are, but any Hulk event where there's thousands of people, any Avengers event where there's millions of people.
But and then this moment, it's
she's got a track record.
She's got a track record. I'm not saying that she's done more bad than good, but I'm not saying that she's done more good than bad.
Yeah. No, yes. I agree there should be more accountability.
And I hope there will be. I hope Doctor Strange is hey, you gotta settle down a little bit.
Yeah, I think he'll be very wise guy quipping on her.
I'm so worried about this Doctor Strange sequel though because I don't feel like he's gonna be the main character in his own movie. I'm sure he will be, and I'm sure there's gonna be other storylines that will be explored because it's the multiverse and stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to really comment on it until we get a trailer, just because there's been so many rumors and actual things that have been confirmed that it's just all kind of a jumbled mess in my head mixed in with all the Spider-Man 3 stuff. So I truly don't fully understand, or even if I think that I do understand what it's going to be, I assume that it's wrong by at least 50%, if not more.
I feel like with the end credits scene, part of it is going to be her in the multiverse looking for new versions of her kids.
Yeah, maybe he'll like stumble across her. Like it won't start with her.
Maybe there'll be a disturbance that maybe. I mean, this is 100% speculation. Maybe she, between now and Spider-Man, figures out how to
travel through
the multiverse, and then that causes problems, and that's how Toby and Andrew show up. And then Doctor Strange is like, "Oh, stuff's going on." He helps in New York, and he's like, "Okay, I got to go into the multiverse and figure this out."
Yeah, I wonder also, like, have you seen all the stuff about how it's like leaning towards Toby and Andrew not being in it?
For me, I'm disillusioned after no good cameos in WandaVision. I could see them not being in it. But if they are in it, nobody's gonna. I don't think that's gonna be confirmed.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be confirmed until the trailer.
But it just it just seems very quiet,
which is probably a good thing.
No, a good thing. Like I don't want it to be confirmed, but it's feeling so unconfirmed that it's almost like
it is a little worrisome.
Are we getting too hyped too quickly?
I've seen a theory post Ralph Boner that all 4 of the Spider-Man actors
are gonna have the last name Boner.
No, are just gonna be playing different characters. They'll bring the actors back, but not as the same characters.
I don't like that.
So like Toby shows up as Uncle Ben or something like
that. I like.
Yeah, but and then like Alfred Molina won't be Doc Ock. He'll be somebody else. Jamie Foxx will be somebody else.
I'm okay with that. I just want.
I
want multiple Spider-Men. Yeah. I want the Spider Squad.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know, and it's hard to speculate with that because there's been such little, and obviously like. They're pushing away from trying to they don't want to reveal it. If they wanted to confirm or deny it, they would have. Kevin Feige would have come out in a statement. And said it. And obviously they're going to tell Tom Holland to lie. Like him in an interview saying he doesn't know about it means nothing to me.
Yeah. To me, it just I don't know. I also the movie comes out Christmas,
December,
Spider-Man 3, and Strange comes out this time next year.
Yeah, we're almost exactly a year away from Doctor Strange.
Okay, so.
At least it'll be a small wait between those two.
Yeah, which makes me think that they'll be connected for sure. I think. Interesting. When do you think we'll get a trailer for that? Probably like June.
I would say probably June at earliest, August at latest. That's 3-month span, probably.
That fits, yeah. Man, you remember when we would get trailers like a year or two before the movie? Remember Justice League trailer came out in like 2014 or something?
Robert Pattinson's Batman trailer came out. It was a year before the movie was going to come out, and then it got pushed back, so it was like 16 months.
Yeah, but that's different. Yeah. That's a.
I mean, it was still pretty early. That trailer was still pretty early.
It was early, man.
I mean, we shouldn't delve into the Batman because this is a WandaVision podcast, but
yes.
We could easily if we wanted to. There were people talking that this was the start of the multiverse trilogy. It would have been WandaVision, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, all telling a story about the multiverse.
We didn't get any multiverse.
Exactly. And so people are like, well, technically it could still be the multiverse because she was looking at the Darkhold and heard the kids from a different multiverse. It's like, well, you have no evidence on that.
Well, and even if that's one scene post-credits, post-end of the show. So, like, I'm okay with there being a multiverse trilogy, but just give us an actual 3 pieces, not a baby piece and then 2,
and probably also I can't see Spider-Man being a full multiverse story because they have to wrap up the problems started at the end of Far From Home.
And there still is, and the fact that Zendaya and Jacob, I forget his last name,
Batalon?
Sagittarius?
No, definitely wrong.
The fact that though with Peter, our 3 main characters still means that Doctor Strange is not gonna be the buddy cop to Spider-Man.
Did you see? So the set photos that released of Spider-Man, somebody pointed it out. It's not confirmed. A lamp in the background is the very similar to a lamp that's in the Sanctorum. So they might be in the Sanctorum in that scene.
I do not like that they are getting brought along.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't like. I like the high school stuff to an extent in the first 2 movies, but like.
It feels like also feels a little too selfish of Peter. Peter would be like, "Hey, my identity's out. You guys cannot come with me until I figure this out." Like,
well, I agree. I agree that the Spider-Man thing is to push his friends and loved ones away from him. But at the same time, I could see the explanation being it's just like, oh crap, they're after all three of us because bad guy knows our names, like, so that's probably how it will be explained. But I hope that Doctor Strange or Peter will be like, yeah, those two are gonna go into fluffy portal, sunshine land dimension while we go fight some hard stuff. Yeah, I would love it if they all took a backseat.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
Yeah,
I have a big problem with the character of Ned, just because
he's not really Ned, but he's not really Harry, but he's not really.
He's very strangely written.
Yeah.
Feels like he was written for the actor almost, which is just weird. Doesn't feel like a character. Ned he's Genki.
He's not Ned.
He's
yeah,
Genki. They stole a lot of Miles' plot points for this version of Peter.
He's Genki with like 5% of Ned and 10% of Harry.
And that I think it's for Peter. It's very important to have a straight man because Peter should be the comic relief. I don't think
Peter needs anything outside of being Spider-Man.
I think he works very well. I think Peter and Harry's relationship is the most intriguing though because Harry's way more no nonsense than Peter, and it's good for him as Peter Parker, not as Spider-Man.
And because that is so much more interesting, Harry not knowing that he's Spider-Man. And especially when you add in any Green Goblin action.
Yep. Which, I mean, I don't know if we'll ever get at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just kind of, I don't know, it's messy.
It's very messy. But I like a fun, chaotic mess, which is what I hope Doctor Strange 2 will be.
Yeah. Oh, Doctor Strange 2 will be. Because it's the multiverse, it's going to be chaos no matter what. Like,
chaos magic.
I'm curious how they're going to do the multiverse. Because Multiverse of Madness, I always thought, like, kind of like the Dark Dimension, when he was in the Dark Dimension with Dormammu. Something similar to that.
Dormammu.
But the multiverse implies, like, it's just multiple universes. So are they just going to, like, jump into different versions of New York?
I think it's just going to be portals, yeah.
Like, it'll be interesting to see. White Vision.
What about him?
He's out there.
That is what I was curious about, because when the full what's your objective conversation started, I was like, oh, he's just gonna get him to implode himself.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like
he's gonna reach into his own head and take out his own Mind Stone type of thing.
Speaking of Mind Stone, why didn't he go intangible when Thanos was trying to take the Mind Stone?
Because he couldn't remember after he got stabbed by the spear at the beginning of the movie.
Why did they fix the owie?
I mean, they were busy trying to fix the.
I just don't. That was just a.
In Infinity War or WandaVision?
In both of them. No, well,
because I think it's explained by the spear.
That's fair, but like,
it's dumb, but that's the explanation.
And just the fact that we saw him do it, it's like my mind immediately was like, so you can't avoid it.
I was really shocked that they didn't blend together, which would have taken away the like emotional ending of them saying goodbye.
I thought that when he did the head thing to White Vision, he was gonna gain color.
Yeah.
And then I thought he would have just been another version of Vision. I do really like the way White Vision's like body looks more robotic.
Yeah,
like it looks really cool, and I hope they keep that.
Yeah,
because he will appear somewhere else.
Yeah, he's definitely somewhere else, unless maybe he just flew into the sun.
I am Vision.
So, wrapping up in conclusion, what would you rate this show? How many Wandas out of 10 Wandas would you give it?
Probably, honestly, like, not in a negative sense, probably 5 Wandas.
6.9 Wandas for me.
Nice. Just because, like, you can tell it's good. You can tell that there is story, but there's a lot of circumstances around the show that just kind of dampen the whole experience for me. On top of me not really caring about these characters very much.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people are saying the show made them care about the characters. It didn't for me. It didn't really, like, it didn't change how I feel about them.
I'm more interested in her journey.
I'm more interested to see what happens next with her, but the whole, like, show and backstory stuff, like, moments that should have happened in other movies, for me, it was like, it doesn't feel earned.
I'd be okay, though, if from now on every character that's, like, introduced in another movie, not their own, gets a show after, like, 5 appearances, you know?
Yeah, like Hawkeye.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was just the
Great.
first one.
It's,
that I could think.
no, it's an
Armor Wars. Makes
Armor
more sense.
Wars,
That's
yeah,
a better
yeah,
one,
yeah,
'cause we
yeah.
love Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
He's in the new Space Jam.
Did you see the fan cast for Magneto and Professor X?
The fan cast, like the only one.
Tyrese as Professor X and Terrence Howard as Magneto. Quote tweeted that says X main.
Quality.
Unreal.
Also, anybody who thought an X-Men was gonna show up was just wrong.
Yeah.
Like that was a theory that I couldn't even.
Besides Quicksilver.
Yeah. There was a fake leak that that Magneto was gonna show up and he was gonna be portrayed by Daniel Craig.
I would have been so down for that.
Which is just like so random.
I would have been down. That being said, I think that wraps up WandaVision talk.
Yeah.
Both Wanda and Vision were in it.
And Doctor Strange was not.
Mephisto was not.
I'm really glad Mephisto was not.
Although I do think it's possible that Mephisto is in Doctor Strange too, because the fact that her kids are obviously trapped somewhere makes me think that
You think they're trapped somewhere? Well, I think she's haunted by them.
That's very, very likely. But I think they were real. She genuinely created.
I mean, yeah,
new
they did talk about
people.
how she created.
Yeah. So, but her like turning off the magic switch was them essentially dying, so they're trapped in the hell dimension.
Well,
which is a thing that is like hell in the Marvel comics is sometimes treated as like the religious hell, but it's also sometimes treated as like
just
a different dimension
yeah.
or like a plane of existence.
The kids in the comics have multiple stories where they disappear, something happens similar to that. Mephisto does. It's usually Mephisto because they're created with his magic, but then she gets them back and they're older.
So they would do that.
Late teens or something, which I could easily see happening.
And it works with the Young Avengers timeline.
And then you can cast better actors because those kids were kid actors.
Yeah.
Not going to say anything past that because
they're children.
It'll get mean and they're children.
It's children. It's fine.
But I can see them doing that. And then there's a lot of, if they want to keep going down this route of Wanda being a very sad character, which is what they're trying to do, a lot of the comics that explore that, she no longer feels attached to them, and she feels like she's at fault for it.
Interesting. Yeah, I could see all that.
Who would you cast as an older version of each of them?
How old? Like early 20s?
Let's say early 20s to match Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop, because I'm sure Kate Bishop is going to be tossed to the Young Avengers.
Quick guys got to be kind of like, fun guy type
I've
vibes.
seen that people have done art about it, and they tried to make it leaks. Obviously, like the fake ones where they're like, this fan art is a leak.
KJ Apa and Cole Sprouse.
Very similar vein about what I was about to say. It is Ross Lynch.
Who's that?
The guy who played Jeffrey Dahmer in My Friend Dahmer.
Oh, gross.
He was from
I was almost in that movie.
You were?
Yeah, I auditioned. I got past like the first round of
Damn.
audition. Yeah, for like one of the friends.
Huh.
Yeah. Very random.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could have been me.
No, he's from Austin and Ally though, that Disney Channel show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which is just weird to see him in anything else, but he might be good. I haven't seen My Friend Dahmer.
Yeah, I didn't watch it because I didn't want to. Yeah.
But
butt hurt.
I could see like him. I don't really know. I didn't have any fan casts in mind, but
again, it's the same. It's really the same problem with any character that's on the younger end. Is a lot of
there's not that many.
Not that many people of that age have really proven themselves in a big way, and the ones that have are kind of a cliche casting, a la Tom Holland, which obviously it can't be.
I saw the worst fan casting of all time. Like it was for Barry Allen and Wally West.
Okay, great.
It was Chris Evans and Tom Holland for Barry Allen and Wally West.
In a world where we didn't get Captain America, Chris Evans, maybe, but even then, I don't know. Like physically, the look, sure. Like buff, tall, blonde guy, sure.
But too buff.
But
Flash is like a lean fit.
It depends on the comic run. Like,
I think Flash should be like a very lean, not skinny, but
we don't need to get into
a lean,
the ideal Flash body type.
And Wally West just shouldn't be Tom Holland.
No, KJ Apa for Wally West 2020. Have you seen the meme where they take the Reverse Flash dialogue from the Flashpoint movie and like redub it? Where it was like, it was me all along, Barry. There was one I saw on TikTok last night. It was like, it was me all along, Barry. I went back in time and changed the way that the artist drew Lola Bunny. It was me. Something along those lines. And it's just like Flash on all fours, like pounding the ground, like sad and angry. Like, oh, that cracked me up. Yeah, in other news, Lola Bunny's no longer hot, so I guess all we have left is Zootopia.
Judy Hopps is not hot.
She's not, but the internet thinks she is.
The Space Jam news is very exciting, though. Did you read about it?
About Lola Bunny being not hot?
No.
Okay.
The plot.
Was there a plot besides the way Lola Bunny looks?
Yeah, they released. So from what I read, I'm not sure how true it is. They have to go into like the internet or something, or like some different dimension to stop LeBron from losing followers on Instagram. But
oh my God.
because of this, that's the weird part.
Yeah.
Because of this, all of Warner Bros. Properties are there.
That's cool.
Batman and Joker are confirmed to be there.
I like that.
And I think they confirmed
Just as cartoon versions.
DC. I don't know.
Yeah.
DC Comics, The Matrix.
I
Mad
hope
Max.
they get Will Arnett to play Batman, but in live action.
There was a leaked screenshot like 2 years ago. Not probably a year ago. I don't know time. No, because
Dude, the Space Jam 2 movie's been in production for like 6 years.
Okay, then probably 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a thing. Like, it probably started as rumors and fan stuff, but like, it's been a thing since I was in high school.
There was a leaked image of the Joker, the mask, and Pennywise all wearing the same basketball uniform.
I think I've also seen that.
And so I thought it was fake, but now there's news coming out. It's like, oh,
that could be cool.
Yeah, clown team. Like,
yeah.
Also, especially if it's new versions of the characters.
TikTok of the week. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. I'm loving it. All right, this is an easy, quick one for me.
Yeah, I've got one.
Just got the Lady Gaga Oreos. Here goes my first bite. Oh my. Oh my.
Quality.
Pretty, like, knew what was going to happen,
Yep.
but yeah. Now, we've seen this gentleman before on the podcast.
Have we?
Yes. I think he was doing a Phineas and Ferb. He's done he does this with every character, and it's great. Oh my lord. Yeah. Quick TikTok.
Yeah,
of the week.
just
That
fun,
was
just fun TikToks if you enjoy getting in bed with Winnie the Pooh. WandaVision is over, and it was okay.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming out. Here's the problem. That is coming out the same weekend as the Snyder Cut.
The first episode?
Yeah. Because next week is making of WandaVision, then the week after that is Snyder Cut and Falcon. So will be watching both, but we're only going to be discussing Snyder Cut that week.
I think
Snyder Cut's 18th, Falcon's 19th.
I think so. I mean, this is you guys are watching us plan this on the pod live. This is how the behind the scenes.
This is meta.
I think we do Snyder Cut just because that's going to be a big one. We'll have 4 hours of content.
Jesus Christ, we're going to make a 5-hour podcast.
And then maybe the week after we can talk about the first 2 episodes, or even wait and do
we'll figure
mid-season.
something out. Yeah. Next week though, Willy's Wonderland.
Yes, we're going to talk about Willy's Wonderland and probably final Snyder Cut thoughts.
Yeah.
But we're going to watch Willy's Wonderland sometime this week.
So if you watch this show every week or listen to it every week, please listen on Spotify, please. Then watch Willy's Wonderland or watch a trailer for it. It's Nick Cage, but Five Nights at Freddy's.
But also not Five Nights at Freddy's, which is the best move because they're not constrained by trying to stick to the weird lore.
Yeah, I don't know about Five Nights at Freddy's, so I'm okay with it. The only thing I'm disappointed about is that Nick Cage doesn't actually speak. Allegedly, I haven't seen the movie, but apparently he has no dialogue besides yelling.
That's exciting though.
It's equally exciting and disappointing because I love a Nick Cage voice.
Yeah.
That's high praise.
We'll see.
Yeah. We'll be in the cage with Nicolas Cage 1 week from right now.
Bye.